The ski season is over, with the last of Utah's resorts closing just a few weeks ago at the tail end of May. Now, the data is in from Ski Utah, and it's telling a complex story about the state of skiing in Utah. For the 2024-25 season, Utah's 15 ski areas recorded 6,500,3,635 visits, making it the third busiest ski season in the state's history. But beneath this seemingly positive headline lies a more nuanced narrative about the challenges facing America's powder capital. To understand what's really happening and put these numbers in proper context, we need to look at the bigger picture. Yes, 6.5 million visits ranks third all time, but it also represents a 3.6% decline from the previous season. More significantly, it continues a troubling 2-year trend of decreasing visitation following the record-breaking 2022-23 season. That record season saw 7.1 million visits, driven by Alta's historic 903 inches of snowfall, along with many other resorts breaking their snowfall records and perfect conditions throughout the Wasatch Range. The following season dropped to 6.75 million visits, and now we're seeing another decline to 6.5 million. So what is going on? To really unpack what drove the decline, we need to examine 3 key factors that contributed to this year's lower numbers. First, weather patterns. Utah experienced what officials diplomatically termed variable weather patterns. In reality, this meant a slower than normal start to the season, with 538 inches of snow between November and April, just below the 44-year average of 548 inches. While not terrible, it wasn't the deep, consistent snowfall that draws people from around the world. Second, the Park City strike. The elephant in the room was the 2-week ski patrol strike at Park City Mountain Resort during the critical holiday period. The largest ski area in the United States operated with just 18% of its terrain, open during the week between Christmas and New Year's, typically the most lucrative period of the season. Compare that to the previous year, when the resort opened 39% of terrain during the same period, with 10 inches less base depth. Nathan Rafferty, CEO of Ski Utah, acknowledged the obvious. It's impossible to put a number to that, but also hard to believe that that didn't impact things in some way, shape or form. They physically couldn't put as many people on their lifts as they could during a regular Christmas. Third, economic pressures. Visitor spending also declined, dropping to $2.51 billion from the previous season's $2.67 billion. This isn't just about fewer visits. It suggests people are being more selective about their ski spending as lift ticket prices continue to climb. When we examine the broader industry context, Utah's decline becomes even more intriguing. Utah's decline comes during what was actually the second busiest ski season nationally, with 61.5 million visits across all US ski areas. The Rocky Mountain region, which includes Utah, accounted for 42.9% of all national visits, highlighting just how important this region is to American skiing. This creates an interesting paradox. While the national industry is thriving, Utah, traditionally one of the strongest performers, is showing signs of plateauing. Beyond the visitor numbers, what the workforce statistics reveal is equally telling. The ski industry in Utah supports approximately 25,000 jobs and generates over $2.5 billion annually for the state's economy. These aren't just seasonal positions, they represent a significant portion of Utah's economic foundation, particularly in mountain communities. But here's what the numbers don't capture: the strain on workers and infrastructure. Many resorts struggled with staffing shortages throughout the season, leading to longer lift lines, reduced services, and ultimately a diminished experience for visitors. Looking forward, the infrastructure investment story becomes crucial to understanding Utah's strategy. Utah isn't standing still. In the next 2 years, at least 13 new lifts are planned across the state's resorts. Deer Valley alone is installing 9 lifts and adding over 100 trails as part of its massive East Village expansion. Park City is adding a new gondola to replace the Sunrise chairlift at Canyons Village. These investments total hundreds of millions of dollars and represent a bet that demand will continue to grow. But they also raise questions about carrying capacity and the sustainability of endless growth in Utah's mountain communities. When we consider the 2034 Olympics factor, another layer of complexity emerges. The upcoming 2034 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City adds another layer of complexity. While the Games will undoubtedly boost Utah's profile globally, they also put immense pressure on infrastructure and could potentially price out many current visitors during the Olympic period. History provides some guidance here. During the 2002 Olympics, skier visits actually decreased as regular visitors were displaced by Olympic events and crowds. However, the long-term effect was overwhelmingly positive, establishing Utah as a premier winter sports destination. But these numbers force us to confront some uncomfortable questions about the future of skiing in Utah. Is this the new normal? Are we seeing the natural limits of growth in a state with finite mountain terrain and infrastructure? The 2022 to 23 season's record numbers may have been an anomaly, driven by perfect snow conditions and pent-up post-pandemic demand. If so, the current visitation levels might represent a more sustainable baseline. The challenge for Utah's ski industry is managing growth while preserving the very qualities that make it special. More lifts and expanded terrain can accommodate more skiers, but they also change the character of the mountains and the communities that surround them. However, we can't forget the human element behind all these statistics. Behind every visit statistic is a person seeking something that only the mountains can provide. Whether it's a local grabbing a few runs after work, or an international visitor fulfilling a bucket list dream, each of those 6.5 million visits represents a connection to Utah's incredible mountain landscape. The question isn't just whether Utah can handle more growth, but whether it should. As Nathan Rafferty noted, if it snows early and often, skiers have a very short memory. People will return for the powder, regardless of crowded parking lots or expensive lift tickets. So what's the conclusion from all of this? Utah's 2024 to 25 season tells a story of resilience and challenge. Despite weather variability, labor disputes, and economic pressures, the state still recorded its third busiest season ever. That's a testament to Utah's enduring appeal and the quality of its ski areas. But it's also a warning sign. 2 consecutive years of declining visitation, even from record highs, suggest that Utah may be approaching some natural limits. The industry's response, massive infrastructure investments, and preparations for the 2034 Olympics will determine whether the next chapter is one of sustainable growth or unsustainable strain. The mountains don't care about visitation statistics. They'll continue to catch snow and provide the backdrop for countless days of skiing. The question is whether we can manage our relationship with them in a way that preserves what makes Utah skiing special for generations to come. As we look toward the 2025 to 26 season, the numbers will continue to tell their story. But the real story is being written by the decisions made today about how to balance growth with preservation, access with exclusivity, and profit with purpose in one of America's last great skiing frontiers.